I am Mohammed Ali Mohammed, 61 years old, and I work in freelancing. As for my situation, initially everything was normal with my wife and we raised a number of sons and daughters. However, after around 30 years of marriage, things changed and I began to suffer erectile dysfunction. I started consulting specialists in male health in my country intermittently. They recommended various treatments, including the use of Viagra or Cialis, which are strengthening agents. However, after a while, I found them to be ineffective. Now, I have come to the conclusion, after trying all possible medications, to explore the expertise of specialists in male health. So I started exploring doctors both within my country and internationally, including in Jordan, Egypt, Kuwait, and some countries in East Asia. Honestly, I reached the conviction that Dr. Osama Ghattas, without any exaggeration, convinced me about the procedure. Firstly, the procedures presented on air were obvious and everything was clear. Secondly, I felt Dr. Ghattas has credibility that convinced me. The man is sincere. This credibility was proved when I came to the center. I found that the entire team is carefully selected and dedicated. I was tired, and there was also a sense of flattery from my wife. Psychologically, it had an impact on me. When a person faces erectile dysfunction, he tries to solve it. After a long journey with the treatments and as the penile implant mechanisms evolved, the most important thing, in my opinion, or as advice from me as a patient, is that it doesn't matter where you find the implant, whether in the pharmacy or from a particular company. What matters most is who adjusts the penile implant, someone who fears God, possesses precision, and provides follow-up after the procedure. I had heard about a penile implant for a long time, but I didn't have much knowledge. However, after more than 2 years of following various male health specialists on YouTube, each sharing their experiences, including doctors in Kuwait and Jordan and Egypt with a wealth of male health practitioners, especially in Alexandria, Bani Suef and Cairo. In Egypt, I followed many male health doctors. When searching for a good doctor, just like when looking for an excellent hotel, you check people's reviews, how they are treated, and their overall style. So, when I saw the reviews for male health doctors and specialists, everyone was praising Dr. Osama Ghattas. Honestly, without any exaggeration, everyone thanks and prays for him. Personally, I have nothing to gain from this, but I genuinely wish the best for people. Instead of going to any doctor, as if you go to fix your car with good mechanic who can find the exact problem and fix it, another one might give vague explanations or not diagnose the issue properly, especially with sensitive parts like the reproductive system, like heart, not a simple incision. It's essential to go to someone who understands the field, has expertise, and is specialized in this area. Many people have written about their positive experiences, not just one or two, but numerous. This is what led me to choose this center. In the past 2 years, after I was convinced about the penile implant, I started searching for a doctor or specialist who could perform the procedure with expertise, relying on the guidance of Allah. I researched various doctors by watching their videos, reading about them, and considering people's opinions. Honestly, I gained a good background, and each doctor was praised in their own right in most Arab countries. The procedure is available in Europe and the United States, and I had heard about it for a long time in France. However, after research and attention over 2 years, I found that Dr. Osama is the best. I had a gut feeling, and I also found that the signs or indications I perceived were indeed accurate. The center, with its testimonials from patients who had undergone the procedure and even meeting people who had it done before me and were returning for follow-up care during the recovery period, further reassured me. Therefore, for honesty's sake, I strongly advise. I won't name doctors in Egypt or abroad, but there are doctors available, though they are few. Some doctors, may Allah guide us and them, come up with inventions and ideas, creating things like placing the penile implant outside the cavernous tissue. These are individuals who bring up concepts outside established medical practices. Doctors should convince the patient and, at the same time, attend conferences on male health to stay updated and contribute to the field. Thankfully, I feel at ease. The first step was contacting Dr. Karim while I was in my country and he was in Egypt. I told him that I wanted to speak to Dr. Osama and he allowed me to contact him. When I spoke to Dr. Osama and asked him some questions, he reassured me. Even before coming here, I was about 70% convinced. However, when I met Dr. Osama, had an examination, saw the staff and met previous patients, I gained excellent reassurance. Honestly, the video's purpose is to make you sure that not everything said or every center that you pay for is reliable. You must ensure and see people who have undergone the procedures before, go on YouTube, watch previous operations, get convinced, see people's reviews on Twitter, and check Dr. Osama Ghattas' channel. Any person, even if they are buying a car, will inquire about its specifications, especially if the prices are similar. Convincing yourself is essential, as regretting the decision is worse than the car. This is your health. If, for example, someone has little experience, certain convictions, or financial motives, they might pay you a lot for unnecessary procedures like excessive tests and unnecessary procedures. On the contrary, when you go to a reputable center like this, they have a lot of patients. MashaAllah, due to the blessings of Allah, the number of patients is substantial. People wouldn't come here if they weren't convinced, especially those who traveled for Egypt. The numbers are overwhelming at times, and it takes a while to talk to the doctor's assistant or sit with him. People are holding their cases in queues, as they say, but in fact, I strongly support it. The cases are managed efficiently. I sincerely hope that Allah rewards those who have brought happiness to me and others. Well, regarding communication, I've been using Twitter for a long time, even through direct messages with the doctor. Sometimes the doctor responds directly to certain inquiries, and in other cases, communication occurs through the center's private WhatsApp. I spent a period reaching out and expressing my opinions, writing them down in various posts. The center responded, thanking me and expressing their hope to meet my expectations. Later, as I decided to proceed with the process, communication was with Dr. Karim, the doctor's assistant, who, I pray Allah, rewards well. Subsequently, as mentioned earlier, we contacted Dr. Osama and communication became almost like a telephone conversation. At the same time, we arranged the details and I made the decision, boarded the plane and came straight here. Honestly, as soon as I entered the center, it increased my conviction. Even when I saw the doctor for the first time, the door of the clinic was coincidentally open, and it was the first time I saw him in person, having been accustomed to seeing him on the channel. I felt a kind of joy, honestly, for the sake of reassurance. Dr. Karim, may Allah reward him, welcomed us. Sitting with him was psychologically comforting as the assistant to Dr. Osama. It eases your mind before delving into the treatment process, and he persuades you regarding various matters. I genuinely feel that no procedure or treatment was conducted unnecessarily or for the sake of financial gain. Everything was in the patient's best interest. Especially when deciding that the operation is suitable, they must conduct examinations on the heart, kidneys, and overall health to ensure the person is prepared and the surgery, by Allah's permission, will be successful. The center is genuinely concerned about these matters. I greeted Dr. Osama, inquiring about his well-being and expressing my wishes for abundant rewards from Allah for him. He examined my condition and heard the story of this weakness. He then stated that we would now refer you to Dr. Karim to conduct some tests and look into certain matters to clarify the situation further. After a clearer picture emerged and we performed these procedures, including some medications based on the body's response, a heart scan, blood analysis and comprehensive tests, the results were positive. Dr. Osama decided that the operation was feasible and, alhamdulillah, we went through with it. Certainly, I have another minor issue, hydrocele. I mentioned it to the doctor and he said we could do both in one operation. So we underwent both procedures simultaneously, the implant operation and the hydrocele removal. Thank God, everything is fine. I did a lot of reading even before coming to the center about the types of penile implant. Honestly, I recommend the triple implant without a doubt. Don't choose the dual or flexible penile implant. Why? All of them work, but don't even consider the flexible or dual implant, even if you're planning to borrow money to cover the cost. It's like buying a car or something. Why is the triple penile implant better? Because the flexible stent wears out the cavernous tissue over time, and you might need to come here for a larger size. The two pieces also has its advantages, but not like the triple implant. I learned that the dual implant may retain some fluid, while the triple implant has a button allowing you to completely get rid of fluids, making it look 100% natural. True, it costs more, but is it worth it? Yes, because it's manufactured differently from the flexible or dual implants. I strongly recommend the Coloplast brand, especially the American version. Don't go for Argentine or Danish. Stick to Coloplast, which comes with a lifetime warranty. Trust in Allah and consult with the right professional. Success is in the hands of Allah. After the doctor and his assistants decided that I should undergo the operation, they provided me with some antiseptics, cleansers and other items. They also scheduled a specific day for the procedure. The operating room was, of course, fantastic. Many people expect that operating rooms, especially in Gulf countries, are unparalleled. But it's the opposite. In some countries like Egypt, where I had the procedure, the operating room was excellent, impressive in terms of sterilization, cooling and capabilities. It had the anesthesia doctor, assistants and nurses. Honestly, it's something heartwarming. We came, thanks to God, on the appointed day and successfully underwent the operation. After a while, we left the hospital. Some people leave on the second day, while others leave on the third day. The operation didn't take much time. I think anyone getting implant, which is the average case, takes about half an hour. However, because I had another issue, it took 45 minutes since I underwent 2 procedures, not just one. During the operation, you don't feel anything at all. You can talk to the doctor or the nurse while they are working, and you won't feel a thing. There's no pain. However, there might be some discomfort after the operation, especially when the anesthesia wears off. Of course, after the operation, there is some pain, and they were making adjustments around the clock, giving me pain relief, injections and antibiotics. After a day or two, you can leave for your hotel or accommodation. They follow up with you excellently, sending nurses to administer injections and IV solutions with antibiotics. You can also go to the center if you're able, where specialists handle bandages, injections or adjustments. They continue to monitor you until the last moment. After leaving the hospital, thanks to God, there was some pain, but with the painkillers and antibiotics, everything was fine. One could rest, sleep, and undergo follow-up. I recommend that anyone undergoing this procedure should stay in the same location, preferably close to the doctor, in the same city where the doctor practices. This is important for follow-up and reassurance because I don't think there is a specialized center for male health with precision like this. You might go back to your country and consult a doctor specializing in male health, but you may not find the same level of care as here. As a patient, I found exceptional care, especially since I underwent 2 procedures and I haven't needed anything regarding pain, suffering, or anything else. You remain a normal person. they prescribe a set of medications that stimulate blood circulation and enhance various aspects, not just antimicrobial or chemical substances. They include stimulants and vitamins to maintain your activity and health. To be honest, I haven't used it practically, but as a practitioner, I feel that it is durable and strong. It doesn't seem difficult at all. It's better than having another implant and then, after a year or two, do another operation to change the flexible or even the two pieces implant. You take the best, relying on Allah, and it's definitely better in every aspect. To be honest, this is the most important question. Initially, a person, by the grace of God, is blessed with a righteous spouse, children, and wealth, but the enjoyment in this world is lacking if you are unable to fully engage in life due to erectile dysfunction. This impacts not only your personal enjoyment, but also the satisfaction of your life partner. Honestly, after the implant operation, I feel like a new chapter has opened up for me, and one can sense the wish that it had happened sooner. Even though penile implants have been available for many years. I think the first penile implant was in Paris, France. However, these modern implants, like the triple coloplast, were not available back then. I'm not promoting this company, but I observe that it's the best and it will truly help you to enjoy life. Unlike before, you may have been with your children, but the intimate matters between you and your wife were limited. Unlike now, it feels like you are an active man and you have found a solution with this doctor. I assume that with Allah's will, a person won't return to his previous state, and it positively affects his family, his wife, his work, and even his interactions with friends and people. You go out happy and natural, unlike before, feeling that something was missing. To be honest, and without any flattery, I thank Allah, and I performed Istikhara prayer several times before coming. I always feel at ease. Then, Dr. Osama Ghattas and his assistants, especially Dr. Karim, may Allah reward him well. Even in many matters beyond the scope of the procedure or the clinic, they try to help us in any way they can. Praise be to Allah, they have eased our difficulties and things are good. Even Dr. Osama himself said, for us, when we undertake something, it's with Allah's guidance and we ensure our work. Regarding penile implant, they are guaranteed. As for this particular piece, the company guarantees it for a lifetime. Every patient has been given a contract or proof that it's guaranteed for life. Thank God, when you come to a respected center like this and the doctor himself tells you, we ensure our work and we know what we're doing, you feel reassured. It's a process that provides excellent results, especially the American-made triple implant. I'm not promoting the American brand, but it's currently considered the best. Most doctors recommend it, even in some Gulf countries. I recall an interview with a male health consultant who said, I only use this one. We're not advertising, but it's the best. Because, honestly, for some patients, using a flexible penile implant later on can be problematic. When I made this video, it wasn't for personal gain. I felt by Allah's will that it could bring goodness to people, so they don't go to any doctor or any place. They might find a center better than ours 1,000 times over in terms of facilities and so on. But what matters is the consultant or the assisting doctors. When the consultant is a good and dedicated person, the entire team follows suit. As they say, a night begets a night. As long as Dr. Osama Ghattas is leading and is a sincere person, the whole team follows his example. Hopefully, you will pray for me, not against me. Hello, Dr. Osama Ghattas. How are you? We miss you, man. Honestly, I'm sending you this message from Saudi Arabia. Honestly, Coloplast company excelled in manufacturing the device and you excelled in the installation. May God reward you with goodness. It's truly magnificent. God willing, when I return to Egypt, I will come to the center and everyone will be sitting. I will give them a lecture without any introductions, as if I'm transferring my experience to them. life has returned to us, and I started giving gifts, and my mood has become good, and I'm happy. Thank you and appreciated, Abu Al-Khair. Your name is Abu Al-Khair.